Ever bought a winter coat from someone who swears it keeps you cool in the heat of August? That's how some bank advisors treat your money, selling you the exact opposite of what you actually need. And just like that coat, their advice leaves you sweating, but not from success. Picture this. You walk into your bank, dreams in your heart, wallet in your hand, and the naive hope that the person in the fancy blazer actually has your best interest at heart. Surprise. That advisor is less Gandalf guiding you through financial Mordor and more of a used car salesman with a quota to hit. Today we're ripping off the polished veneer of bank financial advice to reveal why they're pushing overpriced, underperforming products faster than a caffeine-fueled auctioneer. Spoiler alert, it's not because they love seeing you retire in style. Stick around because what you don't know will cost you, and not just in dollars, but in face palms. First, let's talk about how the incentive machine really works. Charlie Munger once said, "Show me the incentive and I'll show you the outcome." Banks tattoo that quote on their profit statements. Most branch advisors are paid like retail clerks with a commission twist. Sell a mutual fund, snag a trailing fee, cross-sell a credit line, inch closer to a quarterly bonus. Multiply that pressure across thousands of branches and you get a machine that rewards selling, not solving. Safe investments don't generate fat commissions. U.S. equity mutual funds average around 0.5% to 1.25% in expense ratios, 5 times the cost of a low-cost S&P 500 index ETF like VOO at 0.03%. On paper, the difference looks small, but over 30 years, those fees can devour almost half your potential nest egg. It's the financial version of paying for a treadmill that secretly runs backward. Let's crunch the numbers. Suppose you invest $3 million at age 30 in a fund that earns 6% before costs with a 0.2% ETF fee. You'd finish with roughly $17,400,000 at 65. With a 1.7% fund fee, you'd end up near $12,300,000. That silent 1.5% gap cost you $5,100,000, enough for 4 years of university tuition or around-the-world retirement adventure. Termites are tiny, but given time they can hollow out a whole house. The title advisor sounds like PhD material, yet many bank reps qualify after just a handful of online modules about mutual fund basics. Average starting salaries hover near a coffee shop manager's pay, so banks fill cubicles with sales talent, not seasoned planners. When undercover reporters posed simple questions with hidden cameras, multiple bankers bungled fee math and even pitched risky growth funds to people buried in six-figure credit card debt. One banker guaranteed at least 10% a year, maybe more. Proving confidence is cheap when you don't have to clean up the fallout. If your doctor thought Tylenol cured cancer, you'd sprint out, so why treat money differently? A 2024 academic review found that households advised by commission-based reps underperformed self-directed index investors by 2.5% a year after fees. The paper's blunt conclusion: advice contaminated by commissions hurts more than it helps. Wells Fargo paid billions in U.S. penalties for opening ghost accounts to meet impossible sales quotas. In Australia, a royal commission discovered branch advisors charging advisory fees to the dead, literally billing estates for years after clients passed away. Across Europe, bankers pushed elderly savers into exotic mortgage-linked bonds they barely understood, melting pensions when markets hiccuped. Wherever big retail banking meets soft regulation, the recipe repeats. Former employees describe morning power hours, where managers display colorful scoreboards ranking each advisor by yesterday's product sales. Green cells mean you hit target, yellow means you're lagging, red announces career jeopardy, coffee goes cold while rookies panic dial every client in their book, hunting for someone, anyone willing to buy something. One ex-advisor likened the atmosphere to the Hunger Games with neckties, adding that nothing else he has done in life matched that mix of adrenaline and dread. A teller named Priya shared a story. A widowed retiree came in wanting to renew a 1-year CD. Priya's manager whispered, "If you convert her to the Income Plus mutual fund, you win an extra day off." Priya did the math. The fund's early redemption penalties and higher fee would gut the widow's cash flow. She refused and faced 3 months of silent treatment from her boss. Priya quit banking and now studies nursing because at least hospitals expect you to help patients, not upsell them. Banks market their branch consultations as free, but the fee is simply hidden inside the product. A U.S. mutual fund with a 1.25% expense ratio might include a 0.25% 12b1 fee, kickback to the broker, and a 0.5% management fee. All silently draining your returns is like ordering complimentary breadsticks only to be charged double for the pasta later. Transparency reports show that in 2023, Canadian investors paid roughly $11 billion in embedded fund commissions, enough to build a small fleet of public hospitals. Now let's touch on psychological traps. Why do smart people fall for this? 3 traps rule the game: authority bias, the suit, the desk, the frame certificates all scream credibility. Complexity fog. When faced with jargon, standard deviation, alpha, expense ratio blend, brains shut down and default to trust. Loss aversion. Clients fear missing out more than paying too much, so the promise of exclusive opportunities overrides caution. Advisors trained in soft sell psychology use warm eye contact, mirroring body language, and future pacing phrases such as picture your grandkids thanking you for this choice to shepherd decisions. Recognizing the script helps break its spell. Here's the nightmare. You trust your bank, invest in a balanced growth fund pitched as safe, and sleep soundly. 10 years later, you discover that after fees, your returns lagged a plain index by tens of thousands. Worse, you still owe tax on capital gains, churned only to generate commissions. That gap isn't theoretical. It's your child's tuition, your future wheelchair ramp, or the extra years you'll be forced to work. Let's dramatize. Takashi, a freelance designer, showed his statements to an independent planner. Over 8 years, he paid $640,000 in fees on a $2.5 million portfolio that grew to only $3 million. Had he used a 0.25% ETF strategy, he would have sat above 3.6 million, enough to put a down payment on a studio apartment. After fees, his returns were like paying for a Peloton membership, but only ever walking on it. No gains, just sweat. Okay, let's go over how to break free. Your action plan. Want to know if you're being ripped off? Try this quick check. 1. Download last year's statement and highlight every product name. 2. Google product name fun facts and find the MER, management expense ratio. 3. Open any compound interest calculator with a 30-year horizon. 4. Calculate returns using your current MER. 5. Recalculate using a 0.2% fee. The difference is what you're paying for those stale cookies in the branch lobby. Next time you're sitting across from an advisor, try these questions. Will you put in writing that you're acting as my fiduciary at all times? How much will you personally earn if I buy this product? What cheaper alternatives did you consider and why did you reject them? If I decide to transfer out tomorrow, what exit fees would I pay? Can I have 48 hours to review these materials before signing? A trustworthy advisor will answer calmly and welcome these questions. If they get defensive or change the subject, run. So, where to find better advice? Avoid costly finance mistakes. Finance Fiascos Volume 1 Raw Confessions plus mind map PDFs for bite-sized quick review of these videos. Use code CLUE10 for 10% off today only. You have options that won't bleed you dry. Fee-only financial planners who charge by the hour, not by commission. Robo-advisors with dramatically lower fees, typically 0.4 to 0.5%. Self-directed investing through online brokerages with simple index ETFs. Credit unions, which often have less aggressive sales cultures. So here are the 5 biggest myths bank advisors tell. Myth number 1, higher fees mean better expertise. If price equaled skill, your toaster would come with a Michelin star chef. Study after study shows expensive funds rarely beat simple index funds over time. Myth number 2, our managers can time the market. Even Nobel Prize winners can't consistently time the market. Believing a branch team can is like betting your goldfish will outswim Michael Phelps. Myth number 3, commissions don't affect our advice. If dessert chefs get paid more for chocolate cake, guess what they suggest? Incentives shape behavior. Always have, always will. Myth number 4, index investing is only for experts. Indexing was invented specifically to reduce complexity. If you can order pizza online, you can buy an ETF. Myth number 5, switching costs too much. Most transfers are free, and even when exit fees apply, long-term savings dwarf the one-time hit. It's like paying a taxi fare to avoid walking through a rainstorm. Worth it when the storm lasts 30 years. When your advisor repeats any of these myths, is not a conversation, it's a sales pitch. Banks aren't evil. They're businesses following the incentives they created. Some advisors genuinely care, but the system pushes even good people toward bad advice. Your defense is knowledge, skepticism, and the courage to say, I need time to think about this. Money isn't magic, it's math. Keep control in your hands. Monitor fees like you check smoke detectors, and never outsource your common sense. What's at stake isn't just dollars, it's years of your life. Every $100,000 lost to fees might mean another year you'll work instead of enjoying retirement. Every percentage point in fees could mean years of missed freedom. The good news, this is one financial problem you can actually fix in an afternoon. One phone call to transfer your accounts could literally be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars over your lifetime. Share this video with someone who still believes their bank meetings come without a cost. The best gift you can give a friend is financial clarity. They'll thank you when their statement looks healthier. Every day counts when it comes to your finances. Start making informed choices today. Subscribe and unlock the knowledge that can transform your wealth.